Welcome, business class. So today and this week, we're going to be talking about marketing. So as you can see on my screen, I've pulled up a partial screen that I'm going to use as a PowerPoint or slides. I think there's roughly about 12. There will be an assignment at the end of it. So I'll just kind of walk through and talk to you about what these are. Marketing is really one of my favorite topics to talk about in the business class. I've got a little bit of experience with it. As many of you know, coming from a mixed martial arts promotional background, and then working at a casino for a couple of years. I learned a lot about marketing and how to market a business, a plan, service, goods, all of these different things. So let's get into it. And we're going to talk first about defining what marketing is. Well, it's the process of planning, pricing, promoting, selling, and distributing ideas, goods, or services to create exchanges that satisfy customers. It is the link between producers and consumers. Okay, so what that really is telling us is that marketing is used to get the product or the service, the good, all of these things in the hands of the customer. And that's what the entire goal of marketing is going to be. The first part of it, planning, and basically the first part of what planning is going to be how much do you charge. These prices that businesses come up with, they aren't just numbers that they just pull out of a hat. They really do a lot of research. First off, they've got to figure out how much cost they're going to have involved in it, and then they have to figure out their profit. The way that they do that is they take, first off, how much they're going to sell something for. So let's say that they sell it for $5 and their cost is $2.50. That means that their profit is going to be $2.50 as well. Okay. The other thing that they look at when they set pricing is going to be their competitor's price. You don't want to charge $4 for a hamburger at McDonald's when Burger King will sell it for 99 cents. That type of thing. You want to be able to have competitor or competition pricing in mind when you set and when you plan for that price of your product. Next one, that gets us into selling. And selling really is talking about providing the customer with the goods or services they want or need. And then the people that these items get sold to, they could be sold to individuals as consumers, which then turns them into customers, or they can get sold or be sold to businesses. A lot of businesses are going to make purchases from individuals so that they can use them in their place of business, whether they're retailers, wholesalers, manufacturers, or they have a service, or they're a nonprofit organization. So those are going to be the different ways that people could sell. Next is products. And as we talked about in the very first slide, the products being goods, services, and ideas. Just a quick breakdown of what each one of these do or are. The goods are any tangible items. So this is anything that you can physically put your hands on, that you can touch. You can buy a cell phone and you can walk out of the store or walk out of the place with it. Okay, so that would be a good. Services, these are going to be things like the cleaning, cooking, building, transportation, entertainment. The company that I was with provided entertainment. When people would go to the event, they could physically buy merchandise, but then that would turn into a good. The entertainment value that they were getting, that would be considered what the service is. Going to the doctor, the dentist, things like that, those are going to be services. Different ideas, this is a thought or suggestion as to a possible course of action. So this is really looking at like political platforms. When they're having political campaigns, things like that, they're pitching ideas, they're giving ideas on what they want to do or can do, and then they want you to act on it. So they're asking really for some action. Next one is promotion. And this is the effort to inform, persuade, or remind potential customers about a business's things, about their product, service, or ideas. It's whatever they do. A lot of times in the marketing, they talk about these 4 different concepts. AIDA, so A is attract attention. So you first want to get the attention of the consumer, and then the next step would be to build interest. So I want to get some sort of interest in this product. Okay, so for my example with my business, I wanted to get their attention, maybe put out a flyer, things like that, build interest by having some people that they may recognize on the flyer, and then build desire and then ask for action. Ask for action is getting that purchase, getting them to actually do something with it. All right, so after this concept of promotion, then we really get into the types of promotion. And now to break it down a little bit more, this is probably my favorite part of marketing. So we've got 5 different types of promotion. The first one is personal selling, and these are going to be like meetings, in-person meetings, conferences, things like that, telemarketing, and then also by email. So we're trying to reach somebody individually, and that's what personal selling is. We're going specifically after an individual to try to get some sort of action out of them. Advertising, non-personal. It hits mass media, print, radio, TV, website, signs. A lot of businesses do advertising. Generally they're going to have a set budget that they would spend using advertising. When I'm talking about non-personal, I don't know who I'm advertising to as far as the individual is. Where personal selling, that gets individual. I know who I'm sending an email to. Maybe a mass email or something like that, or a larger amount, but I know who it's going to. Where advertising, I know a general rule of thumb. Like when I did a lot of radio, I would know that I'm going after the age group of 18 to 35 or 18 to 55 or 21 to 60, that type of thing. So I know a general idea of who I'm going for advertising, but I don't know specifics, not broken down into individuals. Next one is direct marketing. This one has kind of become much more popular now. Sent to a targeted audience, email, printed mail, things like that. A lot of times casinos will do direct marketing. They will do print mail, which will go directly to a customer's house or their mailbox, and it'll be $10 coin play next visit, $10 off next visit to the restaurant, things like that. That's going to be direct mail. Sales promotion. This is product samples, coupons, point of purchase displays. Sales promotions, when we think about that now, pre-COVID-19, of course, the product samples, like at Walmart, Hy-Vee, Sam's Club, some of these restaurants or some of these grocery stores might have product samples. That's a promotion. They generally want you to try a bite of something, and then they say, oh, if you'd like to make a purchase of it, it's right here for $3.49. It's our special right now. So that's the whole idea, the concept behind sales promotion. Public relations. This one is great. Trying to create a favorable image for a company, its product, service, or policies. There are a couple of different ways that this goes when it comes to public relations. You can try to create that favorable image for yourself. Now, if the media gets a hold of it, like we've seen some companies that have been involved in having public relations now on TV a lot, with whether they're good or bad, they're being talked about. And the companies, a lot of times, if there is negative, bad publicity, they quite possibly have an opportunity to make a change and to make it more favorable for themselves. So these are going to be the types of promotions that we talk about. Channel management, this is just distribution. It's getting the goods to the customer or to the consumer. It's getting these goods into their hands. How do we do that? Does it get sent by truck, train, air, by plane, airplane, by water, by boats? How exactly are we going to get it in their hands? Warehouse system like Target Distribution and tracking system, certification number for tracking location. So there's going to be different ways that we go about this with the business. They've got to get their product to the wholesaler or to to the retailer, and then get it into the consumer's hands. Marketing concept. This is that idea that a business should strive to satisfy customers' needs and wants while generating a profit for the firm. It's not always about the money. Okay, that can't be the only thing that a business is concerned with. If they are, they're not going to stay in business very long. We really, really, really want to try to get repeat customers. We want people coming back to our stores. We want people coming back to our products. If customers and if they're not happy, what are they going to do? Well, more than likely, they're not going to talk good about the business. And we really, as a business, we want to try to satisfy what our customers' needs and wants are. So while still making a profit, because if we're not making money, we're not going to stay in business. All right, so next we get into utilities. Utilities and marketing. All that utilities are really talking about or meaning are their usefulness. how are things put together? Where do we get them? These types of things. So more specifically, there's going to be 5 different utilities that we talk about. The first one is going to be form utility. This is just basically taking those raw materials and making something out of them. It's really turning it into something. We've got a cloth, we've got a zipper, we've got buttons. Well, we put all that stuff together, those raw materials, and we make a jacket. That's what form utility is going to cover. Place utility, this is just having the place, having the product where a customer can buy it. It's convenient for me to go to the grocery store to buy milk. I can also go to a gas station to buy milk. So that's going to be its physical location on where I can find it. Okay, I'm not going to go into a department store that only sells clothes looking to buy milk or to buy gasoline, things like that. There's got to be a specific place that these products can be sold. Next one is going to be time utility. Have you guys ever noticed that it's always at a convenient time when swimsuits come available, winter jackets come available? That takes the time utility. That satisfies what a time utility is. It's making the product available when the customer actually wants it, needs it, and is going to buy it. Possession utility is our next one. This is legal ownership that changes hands through change of money. So when I go in to buy something, I can either, I can use my Apple Pay, I can use in-store credit if I've got a card for that store, I can use cash, write a check for some places, debit card, credit card, all those types of things. So possession utility is really satisfied with the change of money, the change of ownership. Something is not mine until I pay for it. Okay, so that's what happens with possession utility. Last one of utilities is information utility. This is just communicating with customers. This can go several different ways. This can be a worker in a specific department. When I go into Scheels and I'm looking for a baseball bat or baseball materials, softball equipment, things like that, I go in and I talk to the person that's working there. So that's going to be one way that information utility is shown. Another way would be buying a product and then finding a recipe on the back of it. I made waffles this morning for my wife for Mother's Day. On the back of it, it had that information utility covered. That just basically said that exactly what it was that I needed to know about how to make the waffles. If I had a question on something or a product, I could call. I could look on a website. All of those things are going to be covered under information utility. Marketing mix. All right, we're almost done. Marketing mix, this is a set of strategies. They're called the 4 Ps. I want you guys to be aware of what these are. I like to say that there's a 5th. So product, place, price, promotion, all of those things are things that we've already discussed. Some consider people as a 5th, since customers are so important, aimed at reaching, satisfying, and keeping customers. That's really what the marketing mix is all about. Market share. Most people have probably heard of this. A lot of people have. And market share, this just kind of gives you a breakdown on who controls what percentage of the market. As you can see on this one, for cell phones in 2018, 2019 area, Samsung was at the top, and it just kind of shows the breakdown. What I really want you to be aware of here is looking over here at this market share. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll draw a pie chart on the board, and then I'll split it up into 4 parts, and then I'll use different shoes or something like that as a market share. The way that we figured this percentage, so if there's going to be 100% and this company has 20% of it, that's how it's going to be shown on a pie chart, and it's pretty easy to read and follow. It just explains or shows how much of the market you are in control of, how many people buy your products. All right, so finally, we are to the assignment now. If we were in classroom, I should say, physically in the classroom, this would be a much, much larger unit. As you can tell, there's so much to learn with marketing, so much that goes into it. If we were in the classroom right now, we would spend a full 2, maybe even 3 weeks talking about it, breaking down these things even more. We would spend more time going through utilities. I would have you do customer profiling, just a lot of different aspects to marketing. But at the end of it, we would have an assignment, and it would be called the Disney Imagineer Project. Okay, so you would become a Disney Imagineer. What is a Disney Imagineer? Well, that's the people that put the rides, figure out what rides are going to go to these amusement parks and things like that. So what I've done is I created a little bit different look, a different assignment. So instead of preparing a presentation, a board, all these different things, a poster board, all these different things with it, I've kind of broken this down just a little bit. And here's what your assignment's going to look like. So I want you to come up with an idea to pitch at an amusement park. Now, I don't care where that park is, but I want you to be aware of where it is at. So which park, these are the questions that you're going to be answering with this. Which park are you approaching? So just think in your mind that you're going to have this idea. You're going to go to meet with a board of people that control what rides, what water slides, what activities go into an amusement park, and you're going to pitch them this idea is what our assignment is going to consist of. Now, so I want you to first think about where it is. I don't care if it's Adventureland, a Disney park, anywhere. What is the attraction? What exactly is it? Is it a ride, water slide, or some sort of activity? How much will people pay to go on the attraction? So imagine that they had to pay, $5, $7, $2, however much it is to go on to just your attraction, just your ride. Okay, I want you to come up with an idea on how much you would charge. So you're going to need to look at some of the amusement parks that charge per ride, and kind of you're going to look at your competition's prices. How many people can do the attraction? Well, you think about if you think about some of the rides, the roller coasters. I don't know. Some of them might have 6 seats with 2 passengers per seat, so it can hold 12 people at a time. So I want you to be thinking about what is it? How many people are going to be able to do it at a time? What will it look like physically? Physically, what will it look like? Tell me what it's going to look like. If you want to draw a picture of it and send that to me as well, that's fine. If you want to just write about it, I'm okay with either way. What will it physically look like? And then what will the theme be of the attraction? When we do the Disney Imagineer project, we look at Disney characters, and we make something that, whether it's, something that's already there or something similar, something that could go there. And then we talk about who is involved, like what characters are involved with it. I want yours to have some sort of a theme, be based around something. And then how will you advertise it? This really gets into the promotional part, the advertising, that type of thing. And I want you to tell me exactly how you would advertise it. We're going to run billboards all across the state once we get it approved, so that people know that our new attraction is at this amusement park. We're going to do print, as in flyers. We're going to do radio advertisements, radio on country stations, rock stations, top 40 stations, whatever it is. However you would advertise your product once it got approved to go to this amusement park, how would you get the word out and tell people that this is there and it's exciting? You're going to want to do it. It's, this big deal, this big thing. So I want you to think about those things. I want you to put all of these. This can go on a Google slide. It can go on a Google Doc. You can handwrite it, take a picture of it, send it to me. Whatever you feel most comfortable completing this assignment with. And that pretty much concludes our marketing in a nutshell, summarized. Again, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. Let me know, and I'll do my best to get you through this. So thank you, and have a great week, everyone.